Hey, there is a BP Junior, I think. How are you doing? Here we go again. All right, wait a minute. The circumspective life. Okay, all right, I see you. Baked potato strips. That's cute. How are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm waiting for my other stream to start. How is everybody doing? You're doing great. Good. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Excuse me. Well, hey there. How are you? Ooh, excuse me. Hey, Miss Marvina, how are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hey, Mimi Lee. I'm doing great. How are you doing? How is everybody doing? Hello. Hola. How are you, Miss Brenda? I am doing great. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Hey there, Miss Karen Dreger. How are you? Good day. Okay, it's Australia. How are you doing? Hey, Jesus Betty girl. I mean, Jesus girl Betty. I always get that mixed up. I'm sorry. How are you? Hey, Jill. Hey, Tamarind. How are you? Is it Tamara? I mean, Tama. Oh, what? Tamarind. Okay, it might be Tamarind. Okay. Hey, Nina. How are you doing? I'm glad you guys are doing great. Hey, Trina. How are you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here too. Thank you for liking my teachings. Thank you so much. That Bella Swan, how are you? Thank you for joining me tonight. How are you guys doing? I'm a little sleepy. I apologize. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Marvina. Thank you so much. I'm right, Tamarind. Okay. This girl, I'll make it a sexy name. I'll jack the whole name up. And then it'll just sound sexy. How are you guys doing tonight? Thank you so much for being here. I'm a little sleepy and I got these bright lights in my face. Well, hey there from Troy, Chicago. How are you doing? Well, thank you, Bree. Samara, that is good. Hey, Danielle, how are you? How are you guys doing? Hi, Miss Connie. Well, congratulations, Miss Connie. I'm proud of you. Congratulations to you. Ooh, thank you for being here, Miss Lori. I apologize. You loving the Car Chronicles? Thank you. I appreciate you. Hi, Kiko. How are you guys doing? You guys, hopefully, you guys are registering. For those of you that have registered for the conference, if you need a hotel, let me know. I need to get the link from the hotel so I can send you guys the hotel. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Hold on, let me. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm a little sleepy tonight. That's why my eyes are watering. I got all this bright light in my face. I am Sam Charles. Hello, I am Sam Charles. How are you? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad. You tell your friend that I said thank you so much. I am so honored. Thank you. Hi, Adrian. Thank you so much. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Hi, Mika. Oh, Mimi. Okay, Mika. Hey, Mika. How are you? How are you doing? Let's see. Hold on a minute. Can you do me a favor? Can you cut that light off? Thank you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Is that I had 808? I'm assuming 808 is Hawaii. Woo, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. When I start talking, I'll stop yawning. Don't worry. Where's Just Be Real? Is Just Be Real here? Let me find out where Just Be Real is at so I can start. Let me find Just Be Real. I am on about 5 minutes early. So give me a minute. All right, here we go. Let's see. Aloha. Okay. It is 8:08. Hawaii. Is it shocking? All right. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys. I'm just looking for Just Be Real. Give me just a second. Let me find her. Let me find Just Be Real. Give me just a second. I'm on a little early. Let me see where she be at. Hey there, Sharonda. How are you guys doing? Give me just a second. I apologize for the dead air. Give me just a second. Let me find her. Give me just a second. Yeah, give me just a second. She may be asleep. She might be. Okay, she might be asleep. So we'll just go on. I hate that she's not here. That's my moderator. Hey there, Christine. How are you? How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for being here. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started, y'all. I'm trying to think who else is a moderator on here. Um, where's my little angel? Where's my Canadian angel at? Thank you guys so much for being here. Okay, we'll go ahead and start. So I'm not gonna be on super late because I am myself sleepy. So I'm not gonna lie. I am a little sleepy. I had a long, long week, and I appreciate you guys for being here from Georgia. Miss Hot Topic, what part of Georgia? Hopefully you'll be able to come to my conference. I hope you guys are registering. Those of you that have registered, some of you have registered, some of you have registered for the VIP as well. If you're needing a hotel room, let me know. And I am going to put up the link so that you can get a hotel to the conference where I'm going to be at. I'm going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to be at the Atlanta Marriott Marquis. And so it is it's July 30th. It's that Saturday. Hopefully you can come to Atlanta, but it's July 30th, that Saturday. And hopefully you guys will be able to come. If you need to stay in the hotel, I'm going to provide that link so you guys can stay at the, hopefully you can drive up there. But so you guys can stay at the hotel. It starts on July 30th. You're gonna have a plethora of people there. So you're getting your money's worth of all the experts that are gonna be on the panel that day. I want you guys to come out, and if you guys need a hotel stay, I want you guys to make sure when you register, you also let me know because I will be, my those that assist me will be sending out emails. Those that are VIP, I will be calling you personally to find out if you need a hotel stay as well, a hotel room as well, and I will provide you with a link for the hotel. The hotel will give you a discounted rate because the hotel is not included in the ticket price. You will be getting breakfast. You also will be getting served lunch there at the hotel, and then it's an all-day event. Hey, Deshaun. Hey, Rigga. But you will be served breakfast and you will be served lunch. And for the excursion, it's going to be from 8 to 5, breakfast at 7. So you will be there with us all day. Those of you that cannot attend, you can attend via Zoom. I will have the program on Zoom, all-day event. We won't even during lunch, we won't cut it off. So you guys can join us on Zoom as well. But if you guys go to Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, all one word, .ticketleap.com. Hold on, that's her. Hold on. Where you at? Hold on. Oh, let me connect you to my Bluetooth. Can you hear me? Just be real. Can you hear me? You okay? Oh, I was just looking for you. Look, I didn't want to start the program until you came on. Now I'm on live. They hear me talking to you. She's coming, y'all. She's coming. Okay. I'll just make sure you okay. Okay. Bye-bye. She coming. Here she comes. Had to make sure she was all right. But so you guys, yes, yes, Miss Hot Topic, I am looking forward to meeting you as well. I'm excited. So those of you that want to do the VIP, you can register on overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com. You can do VIP. The VIP will get special treatment. And then after the conference is over, my VIP guests will be escorted with my panelists to a hotel, not a hotel, a restaurant of my choice via limousine. It will be a semi-formal, formal event, and you get to hang out with us for the evening, ask questions, talk to us. You'll see people like Miss Telsha Edenberg, Telsha with the T on MPD. You get to meet Apostle Helen Sadler. You get to meet Miss Tasha Leleman, who's usually on Apostle Sadler's forum on Mondays. Myself, Bridget Griffin, Marcus Monroe and his wife. You will meet us. The only person that you won't be able to meet is Kathy Gibson. My life is intentional. My big sister, she will not be able to come this time. But you will get to hang out with us. You will be escorted and you will get the royal treatment. And so those are for the VIP guests. Those of you that are general admissions, you still get to hang out with us there at the conference. We'll get to eat breakfast with you and talk to you. So, and those of you that can't come, you can go on Zoom and register on Zoom. So you guys make sure, and if you need to stay in the hotel, I will have that posted for you guys that want to stay at the hotel. You don't have to stay at that particular hotel, but I do have a link that I will provide where they're giving out discounted rates for you because of the conference. If you and you guys just let me know, okay? Even so, we will get in contact with all of you that have already registered. I will be calling my VIP guests, and then I have staff that will be calling my general admissions. I will be, make sure that you guys know that I know that you registered. So please, you guys register. Don't wait till the last minute to register because number one, I got to get a head count. Make sure you guys eat. We like to eat. So I want to make sure that, hey, Miss Jasmine, blessings to you too. Hey, Dora Lynn. Dora Lynn? How are you doing? I mean, how, Dora Lynn? Hello, Dora Lynn. How are you? So, who's that? Lectro, how are you doing? Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Long time no see. How are you guys? KDJ Karen, how are you? Peyton, how are you doing? Thank you. There you guys. There she is. There go Just Be Real. I had to make sure she was all right. Girl, I would have messed around and sent someone to your house. Make sure you okay. Look, we don't see you on your. That's not normal. So we'll go ahead and start, okay? So I've done all my salutation. We were waiting for Just Be Real. I didn't really want to start until she got here. That's my sidekick. That's my main skimmy. That's who takes care of me. So I had to wait for you, Just Be Real. Thank you so much for your dedication. I really appreciate you. Hi, Naya. How are you doing? Hey, Marnie. How are you guys doing? Okay, so let me turn on my clubhouse. So those of you, so let me do my spiel. I always do my spiel. So those of you that know, I am on YouTube. I am on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I'm on Haps, and am on Clubhouse. So those of you that have Clubhouse, you are welcome to come over to Clubhouse as well. What I'll do is I'm going to do some teaching. I'm going to do some teaching. I'll open up the floor to allow you guys to ask me some questions. And once the questions are done on the virtual, on all the virtual media, there we go, the social media, virtual media, then I will switch over to Clubhouse. And usually I talk to Clubhouse for a few minutes and get their questions, and I get to hear them. I get to hear them, and I get to hear you ask questions. So for those of you that have Clubhouse, you're welcome to come over to Clubhouse. Also, just in case you guys want to know as well, Just Be Real. When I go to Clubhouse, let me know if you can hear me because I'm using a earpiece for Clubhouse. It's this earpiece to have on. I'm trying new microphones for different. I tried to use this on my computer, but it's not working. It's not what I wanted. But I'm trying headpieces, microphone pieces, because I'm gonna start. Number one, I'm gonna start doing my coaching course. When I do my coaching course, I have to hands free. I need the microphone. And number two, I want to get a wireless microphone for when I go to events like in Atlanta, so that my hands are free. And so I'm checking out different wireless mics, headpieces with the backpacks and stuff like that. So you guys, I get to test it on you guys. Okay, so I get to test it on you guys. So just be real when I come over to Clubhouse. Just let me know that if you can hear me. If not, I'll take it off. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, baby Lynn. Thank you so much. Hey, beautiful one. How are you? Really rare. What a beautiful name. Hello. Hey, Miss Rosemary. How are you? I am Ninar. How are you doing? You just discovered me. Thank you, baby Lynn. I appreciate you. Hey, Steph. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I was discovered. Can you hear me okay? Just be real. Am I good over here? Look like I'm okay. Hey, Shelly. How are you? Hey, Crystal, Ernestine. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Just be real. Let me know that I'm okay over here because I got this headpiece on. And just let me know I'm okay over here. And then I'll start talking. So those of you that also have Clubhouse, you are welcome. Is that Teresa Goffmora? How are you? You're great. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me know if I'm making any noise in this earpiece too, because my hair is wrapped around it. So, and I'm trying to get used to it. It's hurting my ear. So if I have any, like if there's any noise, like last time you told me my earring was hitting the earpiece. So if you hear any noise in the mic, let me know. Just text me and let me know. Thank you. I appreciate you too, Zena. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Well, let's talk about this topic. The topic is the pain of silence. And now, of course, I put that narc because, it's going to have something to do with the narc, right? So I just want to make this comment. Do understand that there is nothing new that a narcissist discovers. We come up with technology. We come up with theories. We come up with ways to practice therapy. A narcissist doesn't ever learn anything new. They take something that already exists and they pervert it. They take it and they weaponize it. And so silence, if you are a therapist or if you are a clinical social worker that provides counseling, those of you that are in the coaching field, I don't know how they teach the coaches, I don't know what they teach the coaches. That's another program that I want to start my own coaching business to train coaches. And so if you guys are interested in being trained as a coach, you guys let me know because later on, that's one of my visions. Thank you so much. Just be real. That's one of my visions. But as a therapist, the things that we learn is that silence can be used as a tool, and of course, in the hands of a narcissist or a manipulative person, because everybody's not a narcissist, can be used as a weapon. Now, many of you guys know that if you have been with a narcissist, they give you the silent treatment. They usually will give you the silent treatment when they're trying to punish you because they know you don't like silence. You don't like for them not to talk to you. So if you give them the silent treatment, if they give you the silent treatment, usually they're trying to punish you for something or they're trying to force your hand. They're trying to force you to change your mind about something because they know how painful silence is from them to you. And so they purposely try to force your hand. Another tool, where a tool that is used in therapy is silence. Sometimes it's better for a therapist to be silent and allow that client to talk. Prime example, if any of you guys have been through the pain of grief and loss, you know that if you are in the midst of grief and loss, someone has passed on, died or something like that, one thing that irritates a person is when another person is talking entirely too much. When they talk too much, it irritates you because now you're messing up my grieving. I'm trying to grieve and you won't shut up. And so it bothers people that are grieving. And sometimes it's best to sit in silence with that person, whether they're talking, whether they're crying, whatever, and not say anything at all. Most of the time, people feel uncomfortable because that person is hurting and you want to give them some solution because you feel uncomfortable with their pain. And so you have a tendency to talk to try to make them feel better. And so you talk too much and you mess up the moment. And so a lot of times when people are grieving, sometimes they just want you to be there. They just want you to just be, listen. I've asked for permission because normally I don't sit next to the client. Sometimes I ask, but on the couch, I may ask them, is it okay for me to come sit on the couch? And I'll just sit on the couch. I don't say anything. I just sit on the couch. They got tissues. I put tissue down and we just sit. I don't say anything. And I said, it's okay. You have your moment. Don't worry about, does it look bad or apologizing? You have your moment. And I sit with them in the moment, and sometimes it's better just to be quiet. Another tool that's used in therapy is a lot of times if you're quiet, people will talk. People will tell you what's on their mind because they don't like quiet. So they'll just tell you. Now, the way that the narcissist will use that as a weapon is, number one, I've already told you, they'll use it to punish you. So they'll use silence to punish you, to force you back into compliance. because you don't like the silence from the narcissist. Another thing is when they're silent, sometimes they have discarded you, or they are pursuing someone else. So it's silence, because number one, their mind is somewhere else. They're pursuing something else. But oftentimes that silence is a weapon to punish you, to force you back into compliance, and to get you to do what they're wanting you to do in the first place. Another thing with silence is they'll be silent, like they'll call you up, like, yeah, it's me. And then no one says anything. And then you just get to talking. Or sometimes they're just quiet. They ask you a question and then you just start talking. So every secret that you ever had, you just talking because you feel uncomfortable with that silence. So you have to break that silence. And so you start talking. And the more they talk, the more they pick up on you. Let me show you how they pick up on you. So in therapy, a lot of the communication in therapy is not what a person is saying. It's the non-verbal cues, the non-verbal communication. It's the voice inflection. It's the body language. It's the micro expressions. It's the facial expressions. It's how you're saying something is, and in the military, it's another thing. In the military, we learn voice inflection. So depending on when you're listening to the leaders talking, you can tell by the inflection in their voice whether it's a serious matter, whether it's a stern situation, they're not playing with you, or if they're more relaxed. And so that when you're talking to people, that you can kind of tell by the voice inflection, you can tell. You can even pick up on fear. A narcissist takes that and weaponizes that because they use that. They listen to your voice inflection. A lot of times they throw out a bait just to see how you react, not respond. They want to see how you react. And so they'll listen to your voice inflection. They'll listen to see if you're still fearful. If you're still nervous, they'll notice, if the voice inflection will let them know, even when you're talking, the tone, the rhythm in your voice lets you know, are you hurt? Are you confident? They gauge you. They try to see where you are. And the more you talk, the more you tell on yourself. It's not so much the words that are coming out of your mouth. They'll know whether you're hurt. They know whether you're angry. So they know whether they're still in there, like swimwear, right? So they'll know whether you're still in there. They're, still in that pain. They know whether they still have an open door with you. Now, when you talk about gray rocking is sucking all the emotions out of the conversation. And that takes time and practice, because a lot of people, just to lets them know, yep, still in there, still got her. But when you gray rock, you're sucking the emotions out of the conversation. You're not, see, they're listening to those frequencies. They're picking up on those frequencies. They're picking up on that tone. They're picking up on, so when you gray rock, you're sucking those emotions and those frequencies out of the conversation, because they pick up on it. And so silence a tool or a weapon. And oftentimes people have this bad habit of talking entirely too much. A lot of us have talked entirely too much. Now, even when they are in the midst of the love bombing, right? When they're in the midst of the love bombing, one of the things that we talk about all the time is, in that phase where, normally when you meet somebody and you're building rapport, you're getting to know the person, what their likes are, what their dislikes are, their favorite foods, places that they enjoy. Do they like traveling? That's dating, is collecting data. Dating is collecting data. Dating doesn't mean you jump into bed and have sex and see whether we're compatible and then we get to know each other. See, oftentimes that's backwards. You're doing it all backwards. Sex is the least thing that should be the least thing that's first on your mind. Whether you're sexually compatible, because it has an emotional pull. I don't care whether you think that was just a booty call or that was just a one night stand or whatever. There's still emotions involved with that. And then when you're with a narcissist, there are no emotions involved for that narcissist. There's emotions involved with you, because they're making a deposit into your soul. They're making a deposit into your mind. And then you're the one, just like I said in the video earlier, you're the one that's cultivating that seed. You're the one that keeps turning that seed over and over and over again until that seed starts growing roots. When that seed starts growing roots, it goes deep. It goes very, 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 very deep. And so the silent treatment, let's go back to the silent treatment. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. But to go back to the silent treatment, the problem is like during the rapport building stage, they're not actually building rapport with you. They're interrogating you. And in interrogation, if anybody has taken any criminal justice classes, it's funny because I didn't think about it, but my minor in my bachelor's program was criminal justice. And we had the opportunity to have, one of the instructors was a criminal investigation a CID officer, a criminal investigation division officer, a warrant officer, and he was teaching the art of interrogations. And the very thing that I'm saying to you right now is the very thing that they use in the art of interrogation. Those of you that are in on the police force, those of you guys that are in like that do interrogations, police force, investigators, those type of things, or if you watch another 48 hours, they actually talk about the behaviors, the voice inflections, things that are being said, how they ask questions, how they keep going back on their questions, how they know that they're lying, certain things that they do with their eyes. They talk about the physiological reactions, the breathing, when they do the lie detector test. So there are all these physiological reactions that take place. So if you've got an investigator or people like that that can pay attention to that, even with the mental health professionals and psychologists and psychiatrists, then what more do you think that a narcissist is capable of doing? They're listening to your voice inflection. They're listening to how you put the story together. And during that time of love bombing, where they're actually interrogating you, they're trying to figure out your weaknesses and your strength. They're trying to figure out, should I continue to pursue, or are you going to cause a serious narcissistic injury? Where are your weaknesses? I don't care who you are. Most people say, I was a strong woman, I was a strong man, and, ain't no narcissist ever going to get me. See, what you don't realize is that pride and that arrogance is your weakness now. And that's what they're after. And some narcissists, not some, a lot of narcissists, most narcissists, they see that strength where ain't no narcissist ever going to, and I know, and I can spot them a mile away. And that's a challenge. You just challenge them. And so now they go on stealth mode. Like the predator, they go on stealth mode. When you're dealing with a narcissist, when you're dealing with a narcissist, when you do the silent treatment, and when I say the silent treatment, you don't weaponize the silent treatment, but when you learn to be quiet, they're like the predator. They can't find you in the dark because they need the frequency in your voice. They need the inflections. They need your breath. They need to see your body language. They need to see. So that silence and that gray rock, is tormenting to a narcissist. That is so tormenting to them because they can't locate you. They want to locate you and can't locate you. Let me tell you another thing. Those of you that have come out of families, were raised in families with narcissists, or it may not have been narcissists. You may have grew up in families that was toxic, dysfunctional, abusive, drug addictions. Your whole life was loud abuse. Everything was noise, and loud abuse. And with a narcissist, well, let me get to this first. It was noise, was noise. So what happens is that the one time when you finally have peace and quiet, you don't know what to do with the peace and quiet because the peace and quiet becomes tormenting to you because that's not your norm. You are now out of your norm. That is not something that you're accustomed to. This is something is going to happen. So a lot of people have panic attacks. That's why they don't like to be alone. They don't want to be in quiet. Quiet is tormenting to a person that came out of abuse. They came out of a toxic environment. That came out of a loud, tormenting noise. And so now when you're in peace and quiet, the peace and quiet is now tormenting you. Another thing with a narcissist cannot handle peace and quiet. So peace and quiet is tormenting to the narcissist. See, you thought it was just tormenting for you, but peace and quiet is tormenting to a narcissist. And when there's peace and quiet, they have to create some type of trauma. They have to create some type of drama. They have to create some type of noise. They have to break up that monotony in the atmosphere because that peace and quiet is tormenting to them. Anything that's good, anything that is peaceful, anything that is nice, and good and love, that is tormenting to a narcissist. You growing up and glowing up and healing is tormenting to them. That's the best way to torment them. But that peace and quiet in the house, they are tormented by that. That's why they break that atmosphere. They break that sound and they have to interject some type of torment, noise, and so when you leave that narcissist and you are in your first time, maybe your first time in your apartment, the first time alone, that peace and quiet becomes tormenting because you are always, something is about to happen because they have trained you. You have been conditioned that when it is quiet, be prepared that something is about to happen. Just like on a horror movie. On a horror movie, we kind of know by the music that something's going to happen. But all of a sudden, you got all this action and all of a sudden it's quiet. You already know that all of a sudden everything is quiet. Something is about to happen in this horror movie. So we already know. And then all of a sudden you hear the music. Be like, yep, something's about to happen. So you brace yourself like, what's getting ready to happen? Well, that's the same way when you come out of a situationship with a narcissist, and you have been traumatized like that, and you get into your first space, your first peace and quiet, and then that peace and quiet becomes tormenting to you, and you may not have put two and two together because now you're having panic attacks, panic attacks, panic attacks. You can't even figure out why you're having panic attacks. You're having panic attacks because you are triggered. You are waiting because you have been conditioned to know that when it is quiet, something is going to happen. So you're always waiting. Your adrenaline is pumping because something is supposed to happen. Something is about to happen. So I know that in my peace, I'm not allowed, and some of you beat yourself up, I'm not allowed to have peace and quiet. Peace and quiet is not something you feel almost guilty at having peace and quiet because you've been conditioned that way. Because that narcissist is going to come and break that peace and quiet because that peace and quiet is actually what torments them. So hopefully this has helped tonight. I told you guys I'm not going to be on long. My sinuses, I'm gonna have to work on my sinuses. My sinuses are burning, and I am sleepy. But I do want to open up the floor for some questions. If you give me 10 minutes here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Haps, if you guys would like to ask me some questions, ask me some questions, and then I'm gonna come over to Clubhouse for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Okay. So you guys want to ask me some questions? Hey, Miss Christina, you said that is validating. Good, good, excellent, excellent. Nothing wrong with freedom of speech, but it's disrespectful to have. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Alex Jones, whenever I'm talking, I usually ask people to respect me and not have a whole bunch of conversation to take away from the topic because now what happens is you're distracting. So when you are distracting, your sinus is acting up too. So when you are distracting my listeners, you have taken over the show as if it is yours. And so while I'm talking is respect. When a teacher is talking, you don't sit in the classroom and have a whole conversation because you're missing the lesson. So what happens is just be real is my moderator. I've given her instructions. And so, like I said, when you have a teacher that's teaching, you don't just interrupt your teacher. You're in college course, you don't interrupt the teacher and just have a whole conversation that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And so that is a little disrespectful. And so I usually ask people, if you give me the respect, if you're going to have a conversation about the topic that I'm talking about to let me know that what I'm teaching you, you guys are getting it. But when you start having side conversation with people, basically what you're doing is you're taking over the room. You're taking over the conversations. So that's why she's saying what she's saying, and I usually back her up. Not usually, I always back her up because that's the instructions that she's got. So I appreciate that. How to silence the ruminating thoughts. Really, you need to get in therapy about that. You really need to get in therapy. When you get into some type of therapy, especially like trauma therapy, grief and loss therapy, that's the things that they'll teach you about those ruminating thoughts. They'll help you and work with you on those ruminating thoughts. But I always advocate therapy. And those of you know that if you go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Bryant, they'll give you a 10% discount. But you can search for your own therapist that specializes in narcissist abuse because they're being taught on it now. They're being taught on it now. How do you deal with an adult child that is a narcissist? The same way you deal with a narcissist that you were dating. And unfortunately, those are our children. We love our children. But what's the difference between an adult narcissist that's your child versus an adult narcissist that is someone that you're dating, you have kids by? And so there's no difference. You see what I mean? And you may love your child, you pray for your child, but if your child is abusing you, why are you going to sit there and take the abuse? Sometimes the hardest thing is to have to cut off family. Sometimes you have to cut off family in order to get peace and quiet for yourself, to get some type of peace of mind. Because if not, a child knows how much you love them. The people that hurt you the most are the people that are closest to your heart. Those are the ones that hurt you the most. Yeah. Since we know narcs want to be in control, how can we get over the fear of the narc retaliating? They're always going to try to retaliate. Most of them will try to retaliate. So if they're trying to retaliate now, if it's going to cause you if it's going to be dangerous, if it's going to cause you danger, if you fear for your life, then the best thing that you need to do, even in this situation, you contact the police. You get a no contact order. Contact a domestic violence advocate. Put some things in place. Document that. So those are the things that you have to do to protect yourself. Same thing that you're going to do with domestic violence, no different that you're going to do with a narcissist, because that is domestic violence. Let's see. How do you see a new person and distinguish the difference by the way a true narcissist and narcissist behavior? The way that you gauge that is how do they treat you? That's the only thing you really have to look at. True enough, you can walk around trying to diagnose people with narcissistic personality disorder, and a lot of times people are going to get it wrong because everybody now is a narcissist. Everybody's not a narcissist. There's some people that are just toxic. There's some people that are immature. There's some people that haven't grown up yet. There's some people that are just, and it could be psychopath, sociopath, whatever. But the way that you gauge it is how do they treat you? Do they treat you with respect? How do they treat you? How do they make you feel when you're dealing with them? And it's not good to just jump in and use your feelings to gauge a relationship. I felt so good, they made me feel so good. Okay, that's a red flag already. But if they're misusing you, if they're cussing you out, look at those things. Don't try to figure out whether they're a narcissist because you're not a mental health professional or psychologist, whatever, that has a manual in front of you, and you're not doing the intake forms to figure out the diagnosis. The whole thing is how are they treating you? How are they talking to you? What are they doing? How do you feel? I feel violated. I feel disrespected. I feel like, they don't hear me. How are you being treated? That's the thing. How are you being treated? Do you get a court order for a narcissist baby daddy? Well, I can't really answer that question because I don't have enough information. But that is, take away the narcissist for a minute and you think about the law portion of it. Are you in danger? Are they doing anything to hurt you and your child? So then you need to seek professional legal help. You need to get legal advice. And you can always go on Instagram, and it's Judge Anthony Bompiani, and he is a retired judge that understands narcissist abuse in court, and he has classes. He provides classes on how to file paperwork, what to do, what not to do. Excellent teacher, excellent teacher. Now, Judge Bompiani got a mouth on him now. He gonna cuss, but I'm not a cusser. But he has some excellent information. Excellent information. Let's see. What do you do if you ghosted a narc and he is quiet, like he is waiting for the time to attack? Well, it's kind of hard to answer that question because I don't know how long you guys have been in the relationship. If you have been a supply for a while, then that silence is he might be thinking of something. He might be, but you got to be careful not to operate out of fear because they live when you're in fear, it fuels them. And so it also depends on how long you've been in a relationship with that narcissist when you've ghosted them. If you've been in there and you've been the supply for a little while, there's a possibility he's trying to think of a way to get back in. He's probably trying to find a way to love bomb you. That's probably what he's trying to do. But the trauma will make us look at everyone in the future as a narc for self-protection. You just have to, you can't be so super trusting of people. You can't, we don't get into a relationship. That's the problem. We get into relationships with people and we trust them 100%. You don't get 100% from me. You don't get 100% from you first. You got to build yourself up to 100%. I don't know you to be telling you all my business. I don't know you. You asking me questions. If it's surface questions, that's cool. But you get around the person within 6 months, probably before 6 months is over with, you'll know their character. you know and so you don't go into a relationship giving people 100% anyway. Why are we getting there? We giving them 100% of our trust, and then we're upset when they have broken our trust because we're doing it backwards. You don't give a person 100% first. Like in school, give you 100%, and then every grade you make takes away from 100%. No, I'm giving you a zero, and you build yourself up to 100% because I need to see your character. I need to know how you act around women. I need to see how you act around men. I need to see what you act around your brothers and sisters. I need to see how you handle your parents. I need to know what you're like when you get angry. I need to see them little subtle signs. If I'm uncomfortable with that, I don't have nothing else to say to you. They never back off off you. Tell them to leave you alone, and they won't. Yeah, because don't nobody tell them what to do. Yeah. Let's see. What if the narcissist is your mother, a covert narcissist to boot? Hey, there's no difference between there. Like I said before, what's the difference between your mother being a narcissist or your lover being a narcissist? They still have the same behavior. They still do the same things. No different. And you have to make up your mind. The hardest thing, like I said, is that feeling of obligation to a parent. That's what makes a lot of times when it comes to parents, that's what makes the abuse even worse because they can guilt trip you because you're a child. I'm your mother. I'm your father. I'm getting older. I can't believe you would treat me like that. Then they get their flying monkeys and they triangulate with your siblings. I can't believe you would treat my mother like, or our mother like this. And, it's the only mother you have, and blood is thicker than water. And one day they're going to be gone and you're going to regret it. But basically what they're saying is you're supposed to take the abuse because that's your parent. You're not supposed to take the abuse because that's your parent. If you're a parent, that's just like I said this before. If a child has been sexually molested by a parent, why are you going to tell them they need to go and reconcile? No, which what I tell people when they come in there, I'm like, listen, you don't have to go reconcile with them. You forgive them and you don't ever turn back to them. You don't have to reconcile. Forgiveness is not about reconciling. Forgiveness is let me forgive and I'm going to let go. You can't forget because then you have amnesia. But you don't have to reconcile with someone. And so if I tell adults that have been molested in childhood or have been physically assaulted in childhood, sometimes it's not good to go back to that environment. Why would you go back to that environment? So the hardest thing though is when parents make you feel obligated because you're the child. That's even worse, a parent and child relationship. But you still have to make a decision. You have to make a decision whether you want to be free and happy and narc free, or whether you want to stay in the abuse. And don't let people make you feel guilty about your choices because now you're being re-victimized. How long should I communicate? How long should I continue communication with the other girl? I recently told her about my relationship with the narc. She was stunned and hurt. As I was to know about her, she went no contact as I did. Why are you communicating with the other girl? Hey, Southern girl, why are you communicating with the other girl? What are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of it? Always been paralyzed in fear being around a covert narc parent. Never could confront them on anything. Don't try to. Don't try to confront them. You know your truth. And you already know that they will gaslight. They will make you feel crazy, crazy making. And so you already know what they're going to do. So why try to explain yourself or even confront them for what? Dr. Bryant, have you ever had a narc challenge you in your role as a professional? Yes. I'm sure they see things complete opposite of what you're teaching. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, they come on here all the time. They come on here and make comments. A lot of times you guys don't see the comments because I block them before the comments get up because first of all, I'm not going to argue. And number two, what you're saying, is it helping people or is it hurting people? Are you trying to get attention? And so I just block them. I know this is how I learned. I had 808. This is what I've learned in the military. Um, I was a quartermaster, and then later on I became a first sergeant. But there was a goal, there was a mission. So when I had soldiers and I was responsible for soldiers, I had a goal with my soldiers. My goal was to help them become professionals and teach them how to be leaders so they can be promoted and leave from me and become leaders of soldiers. And so there was strategy that I used because of the person that I was. No, every leader was not like me. Each leader is unique in their own way of leadership. I believe in education. And so I told them, I said, let me tell you something. The military is not going to, you're not going to be around for the military. One day you're going to leave the military, but you need something. You need education. I was an education person because I was in school myself. And I said, you need an education to back yourself up. You never know what'll happen. If you get injured, you have to leave the career early. Like I did, I had to retire early because of a spine injury. And so, but I had an education to back me up. So I taught them, get an education to back yourself up. Then I taught them leadership. I taught them how to be compassionate with soldiers because I was compassionate with them, but I was stern. So I taught them regulations. I taught them how to lead soldiers. I gave them opportunities. And so anything that would come in there and mess up my training and my strategy, how to create these, create leaders and good leaders. Some of them became officers. Some of them became command sergeant majors. Some of them became warrant officers. Some of them became drill sergeants. But each one of them had a piece of the information that I provided them and a foundation, right? And so anytime that I'm on YouTube or I'm on any of these social medias, I have a strategy in mind. I read your comments. I deal with a lot of you guys in coaching. And so there's a strategy. And anytime I have someone come up and challenge my strategy to throw me off or to throw the people off or to confront or challenge me about something, I don't sit there and argue with them. I'm not going to argue with them. It's a waste of my time because of the fact that I'm focused on helping you all. And so I just block them. So of course I have challenges all the time. Not only challenges there, I have challenges when it comes to my, my professional counseling agency. I've had narcissists come in there and challenge me because they couldn't get what they wanted from me. They couldn't get what I wanted. Some of them. That's why I don't do couples counseling anymore. Too many narcissists come in there, so I just do individuals now. But I had a lot of times they come in there, and if I don't side with them about something, especially when they're abusing their wives or something like that, and I don't agree, of course, they're going to challenge me because all of a sudden I'm a bad therapist. I'm a bad therapist because I don't agree with the abuse that is happening, and I recognize the abuse. So they challenge all the time. Absolutely, they do it all the time, and sometimes they're not even narcissists. Just regular people hurting people hurt people, and when hurting people are hurting, they come out with some of the most vicious stuff. They say some of the craziest stuff, some of the dumbest things that I have said. You know what I said? But I'm not going to argue with that because they're not here to help. They're not here to get information. They're not here to heal. When they're angry, they're hurt, and so they'll lash out on stuff that makes no sense. Your eyelashes are too long. What does that have to do with narcissist abuse? Why do you wear so many wigs? What does that have to do with narcissist abuse? Why am I going to respond to that? So absolutely, they challenge me all the time, all the time. But so you see on TikTok, I make it into a joke, so it don't bother me. You either here to learn or you're not. Don't make me no difference. How damaging could it be to go to the media before court? Very damaging. Story hard to believe. Been dragged for 5 years. I'm legally blind and disabled. Court. Been charmed. 28 years marriage. Ex-military spouse. Very abusive. You go to the media if you want to. You are actually starting a World War III, 4 with that narcissist. That's a challenge because a narcissist will fight you. If you cause a narcissistic injury, they'll do whatever they possibly can to destroy you because you've caused a narcissistic injury. So that's not good. But what you need to do is you need to talk to a legal or a domestic violence advocate or an advocate that understands narcissist abuse too. Who's spamming the chat? Who's spamming the chat? Someone is spamming the chat. Please block them. Do not spam the chat, and do not. One of the things I do not do: do not advertise for someone else. Do not advertise for another channel. Do not advertise. I do not, unless I have allowed you to do that on here. Do not advertise for another channel. Number two, do not advertise yourself on the channel. These are very organic followers. I worked for 3-4 years for a lot of these followers to follow me. That's very disrespectful. You go get your own channel and build your own following, your own supporters, your own subscribers. But don't come on mine because you see a bunch of people on here and then try to spam or try to pull them over or try to get them to go to videos. If you see that, please block them. Don't even ask no question. Block them. So do narcs pretend the whole time, or did they truly care and love you? I've done a lot of videos on that topic too, Destiny. No, they can never love. I did. You go to TikTok, I did a brief one, but there is longer videos on my YouTube channel. But they're not capable of loving, and so of course their whole thing is fuel. They have to get a supply in order to get fuel. They don't have emotions and feelings towards you like you do. They have cognitive empathy, meaning they understand how emotions work. That's how they're able to manipulate. But they don't have emotional empathy. They don't feel the way that you feel. And so it was never a real relationship. That's what most people hurt so bad that you were really in your mind, you were in a relationship and you truly loved them and you wanted it to work. But to them, you were a piece of supply. You were an object used for what they needed, and that was fuel. And so they don't have emotions or feelings for you like that. Danielle said, I'm going to write a book about my life. How should I approach my toxic relationship with my ex, who is a lot of narc traits? If you write a book, you're going to have to talk to your publisher. Because when I wrote my book, one thing you can't do is you can't write a book and put their information in there. So you're going to have to talk to your publisher because they can sue you if you hurt their reputation, if you mess their job up, if it causes any problems, anything like that. They can't sue you. So you're going to have to talk to your publisher on how to write that book. I had to talk to my publisher on how to write my book. Let's see. So, are there moments when narcs are normal, or do they just doomed for life? Narcs never change. Narcs get worse with time. The normal that you see is not even normal. That is not even normal. They're always going to be a narcissist. They're always going to have abnormal psychology. Um, Car- Carmen, how do you get past the bitterness that I feel from the last abuse? It takes time. It takes therapy. It takes time. You know, it takes time. It doesn't happen all of a sudden. You went through something, and most people expect to heal right away or get over something right away. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't. It doesn't happen that way. It takes time. It takes time to heal. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself, invest in counseling, invest in yourself. You are your greatest asset. And so it takes time. There's nothing else I can say about that. It takes time. It took me time. It took me 6, 7 years. So, but it took me time, not to be bitter anymore. Because I was angry. I was bitter. I was offended. I was hurt. Of course I was. 22 years, and it wasn't real. You never loved me. You broke up my family. You hurt my children. You stole my money. What more? My youth. I can't get my youth back. Can't get my health back. So of course, so it takes time. It took time. So I understand. I feel you. I'm right there with you. I'm right there. Mhm. So let's see. Yeah, and I tell you guys all the time, you can go to betterhelp.com/forward slash Dr. Carmen, and you can look for a therapist that fits what you need. You can ask them, do you know about narcissist abuse? Do you understand post-traumatic stress? Do you understand grief? Do you understand trauma bonding? Because now they have classes out there for therapists about gaslighting, about trauma bonding. So there are more therapists now are being more educated about narcissist abuse. The word is being thrown out there. Everybody is not a narcissist. Some people are claiming people are narcissists. I got narcissist friends, I got narcissist neighbors, and they did this. You don't know whether that person is a narcissist or not. Some of them are just toxic and irresponsible. That's what they are. But everybody's not a narcissist. To have narcissistic personality disorder, there are distinctive traits that you will find in that individual. Not just because they're just a mess, or just toxic, mess or toxic. Yeah. So I tell you what, I am going to I'm going to come over here to Clubhouse so I can talk to some of my guests over here on Clubhouse. And I appreciate you guys. I'm going to be over here for just a few minutes and talk to my guests over here on Clubhouse. But for those of you that have not registered for the upcoming conference, I have a conference coming up on July 30th. I think it's correct. Yeah, July 30th, which is a Saturday of this year. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta Marriott Marquis. It is a registered event only. You can get the tickets at overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com and register. Those of you that have registered for VIP, I will personally be giving you a call. Those of you that are doing general admissions, those of you that are coming and want to stay, let me know because I'm going to have my staff reach out to you guys, but let me know so I can send the link, and I'm going to send you guys a link where you can get discounted rates. If you want to stay at you don't have to stay at that hotel, but if you want to stay at that hotel, you can also call them and let them know. I know there is discounted rates for the conference, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse Conference on July 30th. I would like the discounted rate. You can call them, let them know. If you have any problems, you let me know, and I will contact them and get the link, okay? And please, register. If you can't come in person, you can come on Zoom. I would love for you guys to come and hang with us. We got VIP, we have general admissions, and we have on Zoom. It is from 8 to 5. We're going to have some dynamic speakers. I'm going to post it again. You see my video. I posted the video. I'm going to have some dynamic speakers for you guys to meet and greet. And we'll be serving breakfast and lunch for you guys. And those of you VIP will be escorted by limousine. It's going to be a semi-formal, formal event. We're going to be bougie. We're going to get into the limousine and we're going to go to a beautiful restaurant so that we can be together as a group and you will get to meet my VIP panelists, those of you that have registered for VIP. So I am so grateful. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to switch over to Clubhouse. If you are on Clubhouse, come on over to Clubhouse. I appreciate all of you guys and thank you so much for all of your support. Now, I really want to see you guys in Atlanta. Please come out to Atlanta. I want to meet a lot of you guys that are on here. It's funny because I met a lot of people that had a different name on social media. So when I met them, they introduce themselves and they're like, I'm so and so, I'm this person. And I have to go back and look to see who the person is. But I really had a great time last year. I'm gonna see if some of the guests that came last year are willing to come on Zoom so they can talk to you about the conference from last year. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to Miss Christina, you on Zoom last year, weren't you? But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to contact those that have that were there at the conference in Dallas last year, and I'm gonna see if all of them will come on Zoom with me I'm gonna see if they'll come on a Sunday night like this, and I'm going to see if they'll come on and talk to you guys about the conference from last year, so you guys know what to expect. So the anticipation for this year. But I'm so looking forward to you guys. I'm used to the cool weather, so I have to come down there in a hot Atlanta. I don't like all that hot weather, but that's okay. But I appreciate you guys. So I'm going to switch over here to Clubhouse. I appreciate you all. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful um, no, it was not me, this Christine that was on. Well, I hope you're on Zoom this time. Well, I hope you get to come. I really would look forward to seeing you. Wait a minute, no, it was me. Oh, this okay, Christine S. You on Zoom with me. That's right. Hopefully you're gonna come down there. So Miss Christine up at the top, I hope that you come back. I hope that you come. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yes, please respect my moderator. Please respect my moderator. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. I'm switching over here to Clubhouse. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you on TikTok during the week, okay? You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody. Good night.